Man, this day can't get no worse.
Lay it down, nigga.
I said corrected. Think.
Way that works. Number one, you move in. Grab the barrel and frame, redirect. The finger's gonna be caught from the aggressor, and now you have the weapon.
Oh yeah, this guy doesn't stand a chance.
Fuck with the wrong one today.
Damn, I forgot to turn my head. I forgot to turn my head, bro. I was supposed to move in.
All I got is call cars and some gum. Cars and some gum.
That's all I got. Still took it. A little more speed would have did what I need, but at least I still got my wheels. Wait, Ali corrected. Shit, then I can't even cancel the calls. My phone in the car. And I put my last 20 in the tank.
This is a Silk exclusive.
Welcome to another episode of Words, Music, Dance. I'm your host as always, Paulie the Bull, no relation to Gravano. As always, shout out to everybody listening, shout out to everybody watching. You are appreciated. This is episode 113. I'm back today with Jared and Fenny. You know, last week we spoke about OnlyFans shocking the world and you know, telling all the content creators that was exhibiting pornographic material that they were going to have to put some clothes on and stop that. But literally the day we uploaded that episode, they reversed their statement and told all the girls and all the content creators on there, we was just playing. So I just want to touch on that real quick. They released a statement on Twitter saying that thank you to everyone for making your voices heard. We have secured assurances necessary to support our diverse creator community and have suspended the planned October 1st policy change. OnlyFans stands for inclusion, and we will continue to provide a home for all creators. So, like we said last time, you know, they don't just do, you know, porn on there, but it's one of the most things that, you know, especially last year, during the lockdown, it's one of the main things that, you know, took over their site and became the image of the site. But they're saying now that everyone can continue to do so, and they said they secured assurances. So again, the story that I presented and was told last time was that MasterCard, Visa, and so forth were saying they're not going to support the sites that have that type of content. Now it seems like they've got money from somewhere else, or they're going to find alternative ways, and even those payment options saying we never said that. So what do you guys think is really going on? So I'll start with you.
I was definitely going to go with him, because he was definitely voicing harder than I was.
You want to go first? Because he wanted to go first on the other topic, so I'm letting you go first on this one. So on this topic, Fenny.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't know what was really going on. Mm-hmm. I was actually shocked that they were gonna back off it, but not as really surprised, because I mean, either way you want to look at it, they want to say all the creators, but and you mentioned the previous thing that they do create. It's just that I don't know OnlyFans for creating anything else but porn, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest, and if 2020 was the year where, I mean, everybody, men and women alike, were doing their OnlyFans, it was definitely for some type of pornographic activities, where it could be anything that they wanted, and they got paid off of it, and that was the cash cow, even if people were going through some hard times, and yet here we are, because I know when we did the episode, I know that following day, I was back on social media and I saw people out here sending them messages, stories, talking about it's alright. We'll keep rocking out till October 1st, and then guess what? We're gonna find another platform to do the same thing and subscribe there. And people already, well, women and whoever has OnlyFans or it was some type of lucrative income, they were definitely already putting up another website to continue viewing me in this section.
Yeah, I've seen some people post about Fansly, And
Yeah, I heard something like that. Yeah.
Jared had mentioned Tyga had a
My Star.
Yeah, so there was some people were obviously already making some alternatives. So yeah,
I mean, like I said, I don't know if this was like the biggest deal ever, but you could tell it rocked most individuals. And I mean, listen, if we all know, look, sex sells. Sorry, that's just what it is. It doesn't matter what you're trying to sell, but I'm pretty sure you see a commercial that's sexy, trying to sell milk all the way down to a brand new car near these car dealerships. They're gonna have a sexy outlook. Shit, like the most sexual color they try to sell for a car is red, and they'll have a hot female there. I'm sorry, it's just what it is, and that's just how I feel.
What do you think is the reason why they were originally gonna ban porn on their website and then backpedal? What do you think they were?
I understood your point about how when you look at these websites and just titles that just go into the world of, like child pornography and these peddlers, and that's understandable. Even just typing in the words can go the wrong way, and then it goes into the law enforcement's radar, and now you're going to be looked at. I mean, as far as the bank is concerned, yes, they probably didn't want to be attached to it. But as far as messing up, I can't even say it went, like, I didn't know too much about it for me to give that opinion, because maybe they were like, yo, too many people said, nah, chill, leave OnlyFans. Because there was a lot of uproar. I saw it. I mean, I didn't see the whole OnlyFans community, but a bunch of females that you can see on your search on IG, they were always posting that. I was even telling you and you too that some females were like, "Oh, listen, I'm gonna give you a discount just to speed up the money, the cash cow for a little bit, because they thought it was almost gonna be over." Right. For them to pull back, I don't know. Maybe it could have just been some like, "Listen, I think this wasn't the move. We're gonna lose a lot more money." I don't know how much money can be invested in OnlyFans. I didn't look it up, so I can't tell you that. I can only say I know. It definitely involves a lot of money, especially when it comes to credit cards, and like it's not like you can just sell them cash.
Well, the amount of creators they have, and I believe OnlyFans, the company takes about 20%, 30% off of the transactions that are in there. So they got, obviously, like we said, a lot of people last year joined up, and it's not just sex workers, obviously, but it's other creators, and they take 20%, 30%. Off of each transaction, whether it's pay-per-view post, comments in the messaging app that they have, subscriptions. So for them to be like the manager and them taking 20-30% off the top of they make a lot of money. And
I can see that.
So that's what I said. The excuse they used was investors and the banks and all that. But do you think that's true, or do you think there's another reason?
It could be, if it's another reason, I'll be honest with you, I can't think of one right now.
Jared,
I like what you're proposing to me, only because I just did say to you that I don't know how much money is involved. Like if I had a number off the top of my head, I could probably come up with an idea, but I didn't. And just listen to what you're telling me, I would just have to take it for that.
Jared, what you think? What's your thoughts on it?
Cap.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that here, sir. Because people don't know what that means.
We don't do that here.
I do think there's probably something else going on, but if you want to use the excuse of the investors, then all right. Well, here's my question: was OnlyFans about to go public? Like on stock market?
I believe they said that is a future plan of theirs. So I don't know how soon in the future that is, but that's what they were looking for: investments and probably a public IPO, and they needed to clean up the image to do so.
Then I think that may be a legit thing, but at the same time, I think there's always something else going on. As you will always say, follow the money. So I guess you have to really locate and track what's going on in terms of funds and so forth. I really don't know anything past, like the investor thing makes sense because you kind of want to have a cleaner image going into the public eye. Well, not public eye, but in terms of public trading. Because you don't necessarily see, in terms of like porn itself, you don't see them being publicly traded. So
I don't know if
I don't think anybody, I don't think any porn company is publicly traded.
Not that I know of. Yeah.
So, and being that you have other evils of the world, liquor, cigarette, tobacco. Those are all publicly traded, but
Sir, liquor's not evil. Don't do that. Moving on.
It's a vice, but still, it's ruined a lot of people's lives. But it's beside the point.
That's whether here nor there.
That's beside the point. But I'm saying, like, regardless of the fact, like,
it's here and there.
Right. But, like I said, when it comes to the point, like, you don't see that.
It's literally here and there.
You don't see it, like, as a publicly traded thing, so as a commodity. So, that could have been a reason, but to make up a story saying, it's the credit card companies, and it's saying, oh, actually, it really was how we were accepting it, and so forth. Like, it's something fishy. There's something definitely going on, because you can't throw the blame on somebody else and then come back and say, it wasn't us. And so now you have to retract it. Then you have to say, oh, we're a place for inclusion, but you were just trying to exclude, so you're doing a lot of, like, back talking and double talking. So, I mean, there's definitely something else going on.
The key thing in their statement was them saying we have secured assurances. They didn't go into detail.
Right.
And it's none of our business. It's their business. They, however they see fit, they got some money or something from somewhere. So they may be an investor that might have got involved, a private investor, who knows. And another thing that stood out is that they said it's suspended. That means
they can still go through it.
So they suspended, what was it, October 1st was their policy change. That
it could happen all as far as the next
year.
year.
They didn't say, we removed, we voided,
terminated, none of that.
Terminate, right? It's suspended. So that means
we're including for now, but we can always change our mind. Like we're about to go public, then we can just cut.
So a lot of the creators on that site started, feeling themselves, and they started like you said, sex sells data. So they started feeling like, y'all need me. You need me to do what I do, so that's why y'all had thought so. That I seen it right. Well, and there's a lot of cockiness in the posts that follow.
When you look at the grand scheme of things, you say all creators at the end of it, and I'm not gonna lie to you. You could tell me, you can have OnlyFans and create something, but I'm not gonna lie to you. When anybody hears OnlyFans, you don't think of a cooking show. OnlyFans,
word association.
You think of OnlyFans and you think sexual content, and then the reality is. Yeah, look, they make enough money, and if they have any other creators, I'm sorry, I wouldn't even know. And I'm pretty sure a very good few people would probably say the same thing. Because you say all creators, and you're gonna take away their cash cow in one aspect, in one genre, and then have everyone else. Everyone else may not bring that same money to OnlyFans. And then, because if we're talking about the money, and then we see who's doing better, like if you're saying pop, hip hop, or Latin genre, and then one is doing better than the other, you're gonna say let's just take that one away because we got to give everybody else a chance.
Right?
I don't know. Suspended is I can see suspension. They just want to. If you want to give everybody a chance, that's great. But as to say you want to get rid of them, I think that was maybe too harsh. But that's, like you said, none of our business, and it's up to you at the end of the day.
Because like I said, them just saying they acquired assurances. They didn't say in detail, we got a new financial backer, we got a big investment from, who knows, it could be a big company, it could be another, it could have been like an Apple or a Spotify or somebody that's in a streaming.
Jack Dorsey,
right, and they may not want to have their name associated with it yet.
Yeah,
and it could be a slow cleanup. October 1st is next month.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they may take their time and implement new policies, user agreements, and this month we got you're going to do one porn video. Okay, you can only put this many. They may slowly instead of just the drastic change. So we'll see. Like I always say, the conversation continues.
But nobody
they're gonna keep using different credit cards.
Nobody reads the end user.
Right, and like I said, with me on YouTube, posting
ain't nobody read no policies either.
Me posting content on YouTube, they flagged me for a video I posted 2 years ago for something that was in a clip that I added to the video, and it was so it'd be something like that, and that's just because of the policy change this year. They went back to videos years ago. I've been doing this for about 5 years now. I got videos up to about 4 or 5 years now. I gotta go watch every video now
Go through
and
it.
see. Okay, does that break the rules? Does that break the rules? So, you know, and you know, it's the same thing. You know, again, policies slowly change, and
But one thing that Fenny did say, I know you go to the next thing, but word association means a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So when you say
yeah.
content creators, like that's YouTube, that's Patreon,
Right.
that's TikTok.
well, they mean specifically their creators. They're
Right.
trying to
But I'm saying,
focus.
like,
Yeah.
when you hear content creators, it implies that everybody's on a different stream or different avenue. So when you hear content creators, when you hear OnlyFans, the first thing you are thinking about is something pornographic. You don't think about pornography when it comes to Patreon. You're thinking about
It became a joke. It was like, again, the pandemic
So the
stuff
image.
last year. Everyone, it was funny to say, oh, I lost my job. I'm gonna start OnlyFans,
Right.
and the joke became a reality, which is kind of like our presidency a couple years ago. When I'm talking about that, but the meme became reality, and some people were just like, I couldn't do that.
I ain't gonna lie. If that was a joke, I'm a horrible friend because I done told 2 females. I was like, yo, so you lost your job? Listen, you get OnlyFans.
That was a joke. Were you serious when you said it?
Yeah.
You were serious when you said it?
Deadass.
Last year, 2020.
Yeah.
Oh well, they took it. So that's why it became the
Yo,
thing.
because the reality is, look,
I didn't even know.
I didn't know
OnlyFans back
how
then, so
the
couldn't say it.
OnlyFans work, right? So basically, I said, yo, just do OnlyFans. I mean, you can get money, but the problem is, like, well, like one female, she definitely explained it to me. She was like, oh, you have to consistently, like,
post.
yeah, and you
Well,
got
yeah,
you got to
'cause-
promote yourself, but you got to promote you. Not like a different, like, I thought you could just do it differently. Like I said, I didn't know how OnlyFans
I mean, you can do
worked.
whatever you want to do. I mean, that might be how she's doing it, but it's
No, she didn't do it. No.
Oh, I'm just saying. It's up to you
It was
how
a joke
you-
with a little bit of truth in it, but still,
Oh,
you could have made money out of it.
yeah. I mean, some people did. Some people, retired their job.
No, they could do
started doing
OnlyFans about feet, and they still get money out of it.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling you guys last week too, because some people that didn't mind the change was like, well, I can still, post my feet, post a dress, post a bikini, you know what I'm saying? Because they were saying specifically like sex and porn and you
And
know what I'm
nudity.
saying? Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of women, because I know there's some dudes that complain like, yo, this chick is bad, but she never get naked. And it's like, but she got
yeah.
mad subscribers.
Yeah.
So there's some women that make money off of it still. That was
without
like,
getting naked.
when they heard those rules
Striptease.
change, they was like,
Yeah, sure.
they was like, all right, I'm not affected by that. They talk about sex. I'm not selling sex. I'm doing outfits. I got a Fashion Over deal as well. I'm doing, so some people was good with that. So there's more to it. That's why I said they may do a slower transition.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now that they got a little glimpse of how many people was like, damn, they leaving? All right, we got a lot of people here that we thought they was going to be affected by it. We figured they just put some clothes on. No, they really leaving. So,
And they
like,
can do a rebranding, like you just changing.
yeah, and it's not that hard. Like I said, conversation continues. We'll talk about that some more when the story develops some more. But Fenny, you brought a story to us today. An article that you saw on Instagram.
Yeah,
If you pull that up for play about a wedding and
So basically, there was a destination wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and it was at Jamaica, and there was this. It was at the Royalton Niagara Resort Spa in Jamaica, and basically, the bride and groom paid. Well, they sent out, RSVPs, and it was $120 per person. I forgot the exact amount. I was telling Paul how much the whole wedding cost, but some people didn't RSVP, or if they did, they did not show up. And the groom was upset, and literally after the wedding, when he was done, the next following day or the day after, he sent the invoice, and Paul will definitely post it up, of a bill for each person who didn't show up, $240 for each individual who RSVP'd and did not show up to his wedding.
right,
In Jamaica,
yeah,
destination wedding. I'm pretty sure it was expensive.
right.
They didn't go into detail on how many people didn't show up. But I mean, what are your thoughts? Should I go to my left or should I go to my right? Who got this?
Jared was ready to go in when we first talked about
Whereas
it.
I'm definitely going to my right.
Yeah.
Why I still?
You was. Don't front.
You held back a little bit, but go ahead.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind, Jared?
Like, I completely agree with dude. Like,
240? All right.
yeah, because all right, I know I'm not getting married anytime soon. Are you getting married?
Yes, sir.
See, so you're getting married. So when you're getting married, eventually, you have to factor in whether it's destination or if you haven't done a local that has a reception to it. you have to factor in guest invites, and the reception costs more at times than the wedding itself, because there's food, there's catering,
Food and drinks.
there's catering, there's DJ, there's the minister, there's the venue hall, it's all this stuff. Same thing applies when you're going on a destination wedding. It's more of an intimate thing.
Buzzing.
It's more of an intimate setting, so there's not as many people. Plus, you're paying a lot more because it's travel involved. Travel.
Yes, that was a destination wedding to Jamaica.
There's travel. There's and in some cases, most times yes, you're RSVPing, so you have to hold that body, and so for that's space, that's time, that's food you're paying for ahead of time. The travel sometimes. Most times, I think most times the travel goes to the person who's actually going, who RSVP, not so much on the bride and groom. Although at times I've heard at times that sometimes they incorporate that cost too.
Yeah, it depends on how they,
Right, depends on how they've had to finagle it. But if he's sending out $240, that's essentially their space there plus probably food or other costs that they ate into. I'm pretty sure he's not doing it plus interest. But I mean, if he is, then so be it. But as I said, I'm on the side of the groom, or in his wife. Because I'm pretty sure that's a joint idea. But I do understand at the same time, COVID happened. I'm very understanding of that. So some people aren't. And especially in foreign countries, Jamaica, I'm not sure of their policy, but some people can't go because of vaccination policies. I understand some people are scared to go now, because I'm pretty sure this thing has been delayed or canceled. Maybe because, especially you tried to have it last year, it couldn't happen at all, so then it got pushed back. And I don't know the policy of them, because if you had to cancel that, so forth, then there's a possibility that the hotel probably refunded their money and said, well, do you want to reschedule it? And if they said, do you want to reschedule it, then you probably have to resend RSVPs. And then people have to understand, I'm not going to be able to do it, or I might be able to do it. So I understand both sides. If you're on the I should have to pay for it thing, but at the same time, if I was putting in all my money and we know I'm trying to do this, and you're not trying to conform to all this stuff, then don't RSVP, because don't waste my money on it. I'm already shelling out so much doing X, Y, and Z. Don't waste any more of my money doing that. So I kind of want to recoup to it. So I understand that part.
You brought up a point that I was going to bring up, but you already hit it. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. We're still, dealing with COVID and shutdowns and flights being delayed and all kinds of things. So I would need to know more information pertaining to, how those that canceled or what have you. It's a little not selfish, but to do a destination wedding during this time isn't the best time to do it, and that could factor into it. There's no end. It's not a good time to travel with a bunch of people.
It's not a good time.
It's not a good time for that.
Especially if you're going to another country.
You go to another country, like you said, vaccinations, masks, all kinds of laws and things. And like you said too, if I RSVP for the original date and it moved, then that's one thing. Now, if I did RSVP for this date, knowing the situation, then yeah, I'm still kind of at fault to that. But if my flight was canceled, if I had a Delta Airlines flight and they canceled it, I can't do nothing about that. If my flight was delayed, postponed, what have you. So I would need to know the other person's side of the story. But all in all, yes, if I put money out and you RSVP, that is a contract saying I will be there. Now, the thing is, though, what you paid isn't really my responsibility. Me saying I'm going to be there, you counting ahead, I get that. You're counting ahead, you count the table, we're making a certain amount of plates, what have you. And when people come, you bring a check, bring an envelope with some money. That's what you do for weddings. You bring a little envelope, slide it, put it in the box, or what have you. Maybe I might have gave you the envelope still. I couldn't make the wedding, but I'll slide you the envelope. But you sent me the invoice before I even had a chance to. So again, like I said, I would need more information. It's a little bit of poor taste though. It's a little bit of poor taste. It's a business, and like you sending out me an invoice like I work for you or something like services rendered. Like, hey, you owe me this. No, I don't. Hey, congratulations though.
Well, in his defense, he definitely in the interview he definitely said he was being petty.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying.
He agreed. It's
very petty.
He agreed to being
okay.
petty.
So as long as he admitted it, he admitted
he was getting petty.
Okay.
But, what I would say is this: like, I understand what you mean about, like, I get what you're saying about it's not a good time to do destination weddings. I'm gonna be honest, yo. I'd still do it, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter actually where you do it, because the reality is any setting when there's a group of people, it's a risk. At this moment.
But that's even higher. You want me to get on an airplane and go to a hotel in a foreign country. So now I'm putting I'm at more risk of the virus.
I'm gonna be real with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what I told my girl when we was making the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it in COVID, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wanted it because I would send out invitations, and I'm happy when people be like, I can't make it. Now that's just me personally. Because if you tell me you can't make it, I'm happy. Right. But I'm not your average man. You know, people be like, nah, come through.
Well, you don't want people to be there anyway.
Basically,
you don't want people to be there.
I'm good. Because if it's important people, you know what? Because your weddings are all cool, great.
Don't want a reception though.
Yeah, I don't care. Anyway, the reality is this. The reality is this. Like, sometimes you just feel like people just don't. Mm-hmm. They just come in there for the free liquor and the food. Sometimes, if you really want to look at it, but being that way, like I understand even how weddings used to be. They would send out, that what you would bring for a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was called. Basically, at the bridal shower, they give the bride gives out things for what you would want for the wedding. For the couple.
It's like the same thing like the baby shower thing.
Like the baby shower thing.
The registry. Yeah. We met.
Sorry, we don't know. We're men, but I'm sorry. We apologize, ladies.
The registry.
So at the end of the day, right? That's how it was. But like to his point, he was like, "Yo, you would just come with money because that's that's just the easier way."
Yeah.
Now the reality is, anybody, man or woman, groom or bride, is going to be upset because when you shell out money, this is why you don't go too big. But I can't say that for anybody else. Me personally, if I would like to have the wedding small. You need a small one. Sometimes people don't even want to do the whole church, or they just want the reception because that's what you're really paying for. The wedding's like 5 minutes.
And that's my thing. When we flying out to Jamaica, and so now I got to put in the time off. I got to. This flight, that. So it's a lot involved. This is not the good time. It's not the best timing for that type of thing. It's just not.
No, you're right.
And if let's just say I did bring an envelope. Who's to say I'm putting, what was it, $240?
He said $240 per person.
I might give $1. So you charge me more than I was gonna give you. And I'm not saying because I don't know what the rule is. If it's a rule. For how much you're supposed to.
There's a rule. I just don't. I mean, I know for a wedding you definitely put more than 2. You definitely put two or more is good. So especially if you with a partner and then you and your partner give 2 and 2 each and it's 4 right there, you good.
So $240 is a deal then. He get a discount.
But the reality is though, like yes, he was upset and he had every right to be, but to ship out those invoices that following day. And then your man, let me tell you something, that ruins friendships.
Because you're looking at this as a business transaction and not a friendship gathering, family you're looking
a loving gathering, like we're going to celebrate your love of your king and queen.
But here's the thing, I mean, and listen, I understand all that. It's just the idea of a destination. The thing that separates a destination wedding and a local wedding is it's the most intimate of friends. So he was, that's why he was being.
We don't know that.
But you don't invite everybody. Or you don't invite
how much he spent on the wedding.
You don't invite people to Jamaica if you don't really.
You don't send invoices either. But he did that. We don't know.
Yeah, but you don't.
We don't know.
I'm not gonna send invite to somebody I don't fuck with. Like if I fuck with you super hard, then I want you to come with me.
If you fuck with me super hard, wait. If you fuck with me super hard, we could have had a conversation about this.
I agree to that.
Before you sent me an invoice.
I agree to that. But I'm saying he's being petty about it. I understand about it.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if you're going to a destination wedding, then bro, like I'm accept. I want you there. And we had the understanding when you said I RSVP and I want you there, or else I couldn't invite somebody else, and I didn't want to invite the other person. Like that was like more of a local setting thing. Cool. I wanted that person there, and that person didn't do that. So yeah, he was butthurt about it. I get that. So
We could have had a conversation about it before you just started sending out invoices.
right.
And
Call me.
to the point.
Holla at me when you get back. I'm here. I didn't go. I'm in America.
The point you was trying to make with him about sometimes people just, I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes you ever hear a person have a conversation about a wedding, they will literally say they want to invite people just to get money.
Who's gonna bring you money?
Exactly. So at the end of the day, you may not be inviting your BFF. You may just be inviting your boss because your boss got money. Sometimes you may want to exactly. They want that envelope stacked. Why? Because
we're gonna recoup the money we spent.
Yeah. Yo, in a wedding, when whatever you spend, you get half back. That's a guarantee. You don't get full back. You get half back. That means if you spend $50,000, there's gonna be a chance you're gonna get 15 to 25. That's a high risk.
And
the low risk is 5,000 to 10.
Are you more mad that I didn't make the wedding, or are you mad
that you wasted the money?
Yeah. What are you more mad at?
Well, see, that separates me from him because I'm not the kind of person that has sent out an invoice about that. But at the same time, I'm not going to be the same person that's going to have a destination wedding in the middle of this because, again, I understand what local rules are does not apply overseas. We may have mask laws and it's still a chance you can't even get into the damn country.
Right.
Let alone even get
Wait,
to
you can't get into Jamaica?
I don't know, but I mean, the chance.
I'm saying there's a chance. I don't know the rules. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that shit changes by the week.
Right.
So I don't know.
And then that's what I'm saying. Like you said, this is more than likely postponed because I doubt they booked that this year for this year.
Right.
So this might have been a postponed thing that's going to happen last year. So that's why I said there's more to the story that we would need to know, and I would need to know that for sure. But if this was a postponed thing, and it was supposed to be last year, and then all hell broke loose, and now, I'm not paying that invoice. You continue this in the middle of a pandemic, and I guarantee you they gave you a chance to cancel it or postpone it, or you know what I'm saying. But even
it depends on the venue. Some venues now are like trying to hold your money, and that's a fact.
And like, no offense, that's your problem, not mine.
I'm not
saying you. I'm not saying you.
I almost got hurt. I was like, wait, I didn't spend no money on the wedding.
I'm saying, but for dude to send an invoice out,
my bad.
I'm just saying.
Now, that was
they made you postpone. I don't feel comfortable flying right now. Oh, word. I'm gonna write you up on.
Yo, and you know what? Shout out to people who actually still made it out there anyway.
Right.
They still made it out there because and then we didn't know the quantity of people he invited, and then the amount of money they both spent.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, anything right now is a risk.
Yeah.
Anything you do when you do venues, when you do parties, unfortunately, you have to just go beyond just reading the website and policies. You got to meet with these managers and whoever's in charge of the venue, because at the end of the day, you're still taking a risk of whether you want to invite X, Y, and Z, and you got to be careful who you're inviting. Period, because you got to make sure they vaccine or no vaccine, if they gotten sick or not. Maybe they don't want to be around people who were sick, and maybe they haven't gotten sick yet. You have to give people the option, or if not, the reality is when you start. From this point on, I mean in COVID time part on right now, if you start doing anything that involves a venue, you have to take into consideration that if you say, I want to invite you, and then you know what? Guess what? He comes and you don't come, you have to have in the back of your head, I need somebody to replace him. So at the end of the day, you may not be afraid to go, and he is, and you have to take the responsibility. Like, I just wanted to invite him. He tells me no. Guess what? I have somebody to take his place.
Right.
And that's what you have to take these risks. Like you have to know
or
everything.
You're going to take a loss.
Everything comes with a risk.
That's
you're going to take the L on this. And during this time,
yeah, because you can't win everything. Yeah,
we see with the movies. You know, the movies are not making the money that they expect to make with the ticket sales.
No,
some
not
of them
at all.
doing the in-home releases, but the ones that are just strictly theater releases still taking a loss because some people want to go out, some people not. Some people like, I'll go see that, but I'm not going to see that. Or you just it's the risk you got to take right now. That's just the circumstances right now. Things are different right now. So like we said, we don't know the full story. Right. But if it was postponements and things like that, I can't knock the people that didn't show up or whatever. Right. And the invoice to me is a little petty and
Oh, he definitely made that
you know
petty.
what I'm saying?
Right.
But if they did agree in current times and all that, then yeah, then you kind of
And look, I mean, like, my answer is strictly, I don't look at it as, I may look at marriage as a business venture, but in terms of the whole reception and everything like that, like inviting people because I think this person's going to give me money and shit, I don't look at marriage. That's how I'm answering the question. I don't, not from his standpoint.
Right.
From my standpoint, is not the venture of who's giving me money or who am I buying that's going to bring me money to it. It's for the actual nature of this is my people, this is what I want in my thing. And if I'm hurt by the fact that you didn't want to do that, that's something. But I'm more responsible in this climate to not do certain things. Like my cousin just got married in May, and that was right when we were still talking about mask laws, like in May. So then and their requirement was you needed to have a COVID test 3 days before the wedding. And then right, I think it was, but his thing was out in Long Island, and they didn't really needed COVID tests at that point, because at that time they just changed laws and changed rules around that time to say, well, you didn't really need it at that time, but you still got it. You still had the time being. You still had your time. People wear masks, or you have to wear a mask. That was your prerogative at that time. But that's what I mean. But those are local laws. I can't. You can't speak to shit.
And that's why I say, in this situation, you're dealing with the airport, you're dealing with a whole other country, you're dealing with the hotel there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors that are involved in it. But like we said, conversation continues. If we do get some more information on it, we'll find out. Someone follows up. They might be on people's court or something. You know, we'll see.
That's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of Judge
That's
Judy.
a lot of money right there.
You know what I mean? Depending on how people it was.
Well, you know what? Judge Steve was coming next year, so he got content.
You're right. Depending on how many people they might, you know what I'm saying, might get on there. But Fenny, you did mention that you're, getting married.
Yes, sir. I did.
There was a question that Jared and I was having a conversation about that I'll bring to you, but we're going to dive deeper into it on future episodes and stuff when we get some females involved as well. But it's something that I had thought about was for men these days, what is the benefit of marriage?
I'm gonna be honest, if you don't mind.
That's what we love the honesty. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know everybody's definition of marriage. To be honest with you, I didn't even believe in it. I didn't care. If you want me to be honest with you, the concept of marriage wasn't really a thing. It's not a big thing in my family. It's not a big thing, bro. You could be with your partner for ages, and that's like, I'm good. You don't got to get married. And I think I wanted to get married when I was younger. It did not work. It wasn't working. Like the person I thought I was gonna spend my life with, thank God I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was she shattered that. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm good. At best, I'll have kids and I'm good. Like I'd rather just have kids and I'll live the rest of my life just like that. And then I always make this joke with my girl. I say, yo, you hounded me into that, but I shouldn't do that because that's fucked up. But the reality is, one day I looked at her, and because she spoke about it in a manner where, so marriage is important in her family, but it's not important in mine. I told her that, but my thing was I have huge issues with communicating, so especially when it comes to like emotions, things like that. So I learned to be better at communicating because at the end of the day, even when you're raising kids, you have to learn how to communicate and and know how they're feeling. So my thing was, when we were speaking, I looked at her one day. I think that I was doing something, and I just said, you know what, yo, I'm gonna do it because I don't see myself with somebody else. The aspect of, people can look at it as a business. I look at it as I got a partner in crime. My thing is that I just looked at her one day and I said, damn, you know what? I don't think I could be with somebody. She inspires me to do better. Between her, my mom, and my aunt, they pushed me to go back to school. And it was just like, yo, you know what? It's real difficult, I would say, for me. I can't speak for no other man. To find a woman to have your back. Like a real woman to have your back. That's like, so it's rare now. Like, like even just to push you, not to push you to make money for her and take care of her. No, it's to make you better at the end of the day. And I think, that's all. When I finally got out of my own head and I started like hearing her and things of that nature, it was more like, she just wants me to be better, be a better individual, be a better man. And
it's beautiful.
The reality is that I had took a flashback, and I was just like thinking about the women I was with and all that. I didn't see one not tell me to try to strive to be better. And it doesn't take a woman to make you be better. You can be better yourself.
Of course.
But she was actually just being like, yo, you got to do better. And it's hard to find a woman, I'm going to say for me, I can't say for anybody else, to find a woman to hold you down, and not money-wise, just more like mentally. And yo, keep up, keep elevating yourself, keep leveling up, and do your thing. You know, and when I saw that, I'm like, yo, we should definitely get married, because I think that's just the right move. And even just seeing her, and I'm like, yo, even if we not together or we get divorced, you know what, I'm good. Because I know I got to break that, why you don't got to get married, because in my family, you don't got to get married.
Right.
You don't really have to.
Right.
But I was like, yo, let's change that. Let's be different though. Why is it? Because my family is like that? I'm different. I'm gonna tell you right now, like the way I grew up, you could tell I definitely broke some of the molds in my family.
That's what's up.
And I feel like, why not? Like, yeah, it's one woman, okay. Like we were just talking about, we actually had a conversation yesterday about, you would have enjoyed it too. It was just like how cheating is just normalized. Like beyond normalized, bro.
We're gonna dive into that too.
Whenever you ready, bro. Whenever you ready.
We're gonna come back to that.
But
the conversation
Fenny
continues.
said all that and the camera wasn't recording.
No. I'm like, nah. It was just, but you know, like, yeah, we could definitely do later. But it was just like, you know, like, why we can't normalize love and you know, just building up our kings and queens. Like, I don't understand that.
Right.
And I just want to just do better and be a better. I want to feel like I'm doing good in the world, and definitely show these kids in my vicinity, in my area, in my realm, that yo, you can find a man. He can make you happy. He can be worthy of you. Right. And I'm worthy of this girl. And like, she's like Mjolnir. That's
what's up.
You know what I mean? Holding the hammer. She's annoying. She's an annoying hammer. Talks back to me, but I just feel like, yo, why not? Like, okay. I mean, honestly, I think that's the best answer I could give you. Because I know people be like, oh, it's like a transaction, like a business, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, it kind of is, but y'all both gotta support each other at the same time. Better or worse than marriage and money.
And I'm glad you brought all of that up, because like I said, we're gonna definitely talk about that specific question a little further. Like I said, we're gonna get some more people on here.
You got it, sir.
Have a full conversation about that. I want more people, because Jared and myself are single right now at the moment. Ladies holler. But you know what I'm saying, I wanted to get your point of view on that, because you
His OnlyFans is mad lonely right now.
But you don't try to deter you making that jump. So I definitely wanted to get that from you, because you are making that jump. Yeah. But also during this pandemic, like we said, at some different times. Just last year alone, we seen Bill Gates getting a divorce. Yeah. And his wife is coming up. She getting
Jeff Bezos.
Nice little bag. I'm going through the list. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos, his wife. She got to get a nice little bag, and we seen they're kind of having quiet divorces. It's half here's your shares. You know what I'm saying? We seen Dr. Dre went through a much more dragged out divorce situation. Yeah. And we seen the whole Invoice that she had.
Right though.
Violence.
So the white people over here having quiet divorces.
Yeah.
And we got Dr. Dre getting the loud one.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
She had his ex-wife had a whole invoice of
I saw that. Yeah.
Of what she needs monthly and so forth. And as of recently, Steph Curry's parents, his wife Sonia just filed for divorce.
Oh, no, Dell. You said the parents, but you said the wife.
His mom.
You said the wife.
Oh, sorry, I meant Steph's mom. Sonia is filing for divorce. His father Dell, Wardell Sr. And Sonia has filed for divorce after 33 years of them being together, having 3 grown kids, 2 in the NBA, 1 married to an NBA player. Empty nest now. You think this would be their time to be together and rekindle and vacation and things and get back to know each other?
Chill, bro. Let's get a divorce and you still be my best friend.
If
it's like that,
well, like you said, the white people are handling it much more calmer and nicer. For those that don't know, the Currys is black. They look light skinned. The Curry family light skinned, but they black. So what we do know so far is that she filed.
Yeah.
She filed for divorce.
Yeah. He definitely didn't want it.
No.
He definitely didn't want it.
He counted up her filing by saying, "You've been living with another nigga the whole time. Ooh. Now you want to put paperwork." And then she counted back with that. It's been tennis. She counted back with that. I'm gonna get to that. She counted back with that, saying, "Well, you've been cheating on me the whole time, the whole relationship, and the family knew." And so it's been messy.
They got petty and messy all over. Right.
And to make it, I don't know if it's worse, but it definitely it's a little soft.
Yo, how my man? he made me say all this loving stuff to segue into this darkness.
Yeah, that's what I do, baby. I'm worried about
We're gonna shut this down.
The dude that she's allegedly been living with since last year.
Tennis player?
No. But the dude that Mama Curry has allegedly been living with the last year, now filed for divorce, was her husband's college best friend years ago. So,
woo! Ric Flair that.
Yeah.
They go back, and he's the same color as Ric Flair.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. Nah. So back to you. I start with you now because you gave that.
I don't know what he edited, but
you gave that lovely, speech about marriage and what it means to you.
Well, first and foremost, forget Steph Curry's daddy. He's in the wrong. If you see this woman looking all lovely, and if Miss Curry got IG, well, listen, them DMs is on fire.
Oh, best believe they are. Especially
they're on fire right now.
Filed for divorce. They like, yo, shoulder to lean on. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you.
Listen. But if how old is Curry now? Steph?
30 something.
Steph is 30.
30 something.
30 something. Yeah, the kids is grown. The kids is grown.
Yo, word. Who's the youngest? The daughter, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Yo, soon as all them kids was out the house, she should have been like, yo, I'm done. If that was the case. If that was the case, right? That's all I'm saying. Once all them kids is done, the youngest one is married, right?
All three of them now.
All three of them, right?
Yeah.
Yo, soon as married with it, she should have just said, "I'm done." I'm just saying, if that's the case, right? I don't know how long she waited between the daughter. Let's say for the daughter.
My timeline is like 2019, something like that. It was still fairly recent.
Damn,
a couple years ago.
We got to fall a little bit back. If it could have been at least 2015, maybe 2012. She should have been like, "Listen, it's done. It's time." Because she could have been. Well, she look at the age. Look how she looking right now. She got plenty of whatever.
She 55. Mama 55. They've been married for 33 years.
That's how old Steph is.
That's how. So they've been married since then. So then it make you wonder again. Did they just married because she got pregnant, or was it a? You know what I'm saying? Like again, I don't want to dive deep into their life and all that, but I just wanted to see your reaction on
marriage is definitely trials and tribulations. I know for a fact that when you're married, whichever person cheats, you have to work it out for your marriage. When you have a kid, you have to work it out for the kid. You don't have to, but if this is the route that you chose to do, you have to put in work. This is the problem with people nowadays. Nobody, I don't know about y'all, but I see it all the time, man. Nobody want to work. Nobody want to put in work. Y'all knew when we grew up, I saw people actually work in their relationship. Now it's more like, hey, I cheated, I am out.
and according to Sonia's filings, that's what she did. She knew he was cheating, allegedly, and she still stayed. And so according to them, they're saying he been doing it. So
one cheating, depending. No, I gotta go with depending on like how the cheating was. But I know for a fact, men now.
What was that face, Jack?
Nah, I'm just saying.
It don't matter to me.
Oh, you dipping? You dipping it? When you marry, it's different. You can't.
I know you just can't just walk out like it's a damn girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. I understand.
You can't do that. No, you're right. But and depending on how you play that marriage, all that money you spent, you gotta think about it real good, brother.
Imagine your man just did all that in Jamaica, and you sent her an invoice.
I'm sending her invoice.
I'm gonna tell you right now. And especially if I didn't make it to
I'm
your
keeping
wedding,
receipts.
if I didn't make it to your
I'm
wedding
keeping
and you sent me that
receipts,
240, I'd have been like, hey, yo,
Word up.
don't hit me with the yo, Fenny didn't work out. I'd have been like, yo, it didn't work.
I need
You
my 240 back.
Give me my 240 back. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you the invoice for the shit that didn't work
It's
out.
shelf life.
I'm gonna invoice your invoice.
For real.
I need
I'm
my
going to
money
send this back right to you.
I'm gonna send the invoice to her.
to her.
So you telling
I'm all
me
for that,
you're not gonna work it out? Because you know you gotta work it out.
Look.
That's the reality.
We talking about.
You don't have to, but the right thing to do is to
So
work it out.
So what is your level of forgivable cheating?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
After all that, he done the same thing.
Yeah,
It depends on what it is.
it depends on what it
So
is.
what it is.
Like, yo, let me tell you something. You ask a man that question when he cheat, like, yo, listen, it happened, it was an accident. But when a woman cheat, yo, it's the fragile male ego. Yo, you like, oh my lord.
At the same time,
Yo, they could have had yo. Men can barely handle a conversation when the girl goes, oh, listen, I went on a lunch date with some other dude. I kissed another dude. It probably could have been a tap kiss. Yo, the world ends right there with just a tap kiss. Yo, we do way worse.
Now,
I don't.
I'll say-
And the roles are switched. But I'm just saying, we can't handle when it comes to news. All of a sudden, we can't handle it.
now I'll say this.
I'm just saying that.
I'll say this. Like women. There are the few some who just they just want to fuck just to fuck. But on a normal, they're doing it as an emotional response to something. It's not just a physical. Y'all guys want to see. I want to do this. So there definitely was a fracture in this marriage.
Right.
We don't know how long this fracture was there for. I'm not saying who was right, who was wrong. If Del was cheating first, then he was wrong, flat out.
Right.
If she was cheating first, then she was wrong, flat out.
Right.
But
You're not gonna speak on Miss Curry like that.
I will speak on.
You're not.
I will speak on that fine woman.
Sir.
Right there, so
That.
But to your point,
accountability is accountability. regardless.
sometimes it's not even an emotional response. It's just emotion, period. Because the reason men and women don't like to hear this, but men are more logical, women are more emotional. So, and another thing is,
Man, I can't wait till they get under his comments.
holla at me, 21 Vision on those social medias. But listen, truth be told, a man can see a woman, she bad, I just want to smash on a beat, going home.
Right.
I'm not saying it's right, but that's just how we look at it.
No, that's the reality.
For
That's
a woman,
reality.
right? And for a woman, she could see a man and feel all of that, but it still takes more for her to trust to be
There's an
alone with
emotional
him,
thing to that.
to trust him inside of her, inside of you. You like is a trust factor. You are like, in most cases, a man can handle himself against a woman. A woman is putting herself at risk being alone with a random man or whoever she's cheating with. So, like for the case of Miss Curry, I knew him for all these years. I trust him to be someone I'm gonna live with.
They've been friends.
Yeah,
They've been friends. They all know each other.
it hurts more. It hurts more. It hits more. Because what Jay-Z said, I was just one of them girls. I was gonna get right back.
Yeah, but you don't.
Yo,
But you know him. You like him.
The thing about this, like,
You like that nigga.
to answer your question back, you said what's forgivable, what's not. Yo, kissing, cool, right? But
Cool.
when we talking about,
Cool.
I'm gonna let that
That's
go.
forgivable?
I'm gonna let that go.
For real?
Kissing,
Kissing.
cause let me finish.
Okay, please do.
You literally.
Because that, alright. Good.
Nah, you fucking up.
I'm sorry.
But the minute we talking about any way you want to look at it, when it comes to anything physical, or emotional, yo, trust is gone.
Kissing is physical.
Yo, my bro, let me finish.
Oh, okay. You still going. My fault.
I'm still going.
All
Like,
right.
you stay interrupting. I hope you edit this shit out.
Nope.
I ain't gonna fuck around. But the reality is, yo, once you go and as far as like you sleeping, kissing, anything like that, you're gonna have to try to work it out. And it's gonna take years for all that shit to happen. That's the reality. You don't have to work it out, but the thing is, you should. If you have a kid with this person, you're still gonna have to work it out. Cause like you said, marriage works is like you can't just walk away. You're gonna say you kiss a dude, you don't even know how it went. Guess what? You're not gonna forgive her. You ain't gonna trust her.
Vows of sanctity
Yo,
that
but then if you hear, oh, you slept with him, now you wanna go everything under the sun and get buck wild. But guess what? You have the two options is this: you're either gonna work it out, or you're gonna just sleep with somebody else. And it's always sleep with somebody else first, and then want to work it out. That's why you go to therapy, because you can't work it out by yourself. you can't talk to your boys about it because your boys are not going to give you the right answer.
See, here's the problem with that.
I didn't say there was a problem. I just said what I said. I said you figure whatever else out.
That's the thing about it. It's like when that happens, she's always going to presume that you're doing something, no matter if you're not even doing anything else.
And vice versa.
Because that whole sanctity is gone.
The trust is gone.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
That's what I said.
You either work to rebuild it. You either work to rebuild the trust, or you don't.
But can it be rebuilt?
Can it?
I don't know. Shit.
And I guess
you ain't see anybody else? You ain't see them movies? You ain't see them rom-coms? I'm just kidding. Nah, but the reality is look, like I know we either have a friend with a male or female, like either somebody cheated or not. Yo, sometimes they work towards getting better, right? But you see now everybody's just on some it can't be me. Do you even know it can't be you? Because you're not put in the situation. I'm sorry. You can't just the one thing I will always tell you is if a friend is talking to you, don't speak. Let them vent to you. And don't say shit like, oh, if that was me, they don't want to hear that. Right. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to marriage, you can't talk to your friends. You really got to go to a therapist. You want to know why? Because you're going to say something wrong. And you know what's going to happen? Whether he said it in good intentions or not, what's going to happen? Whether it's a male friend or a female friend. Oh, but Paul said, first and foremost, you do not speak to your friend about what's going on in your marriage.
That's bias.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was good intentions or bad.
And it's a one-sided story.
Right. Exactly. And then you need to be careful on what the hell you said too.
I'm your friend first.
And me and Jared went through that where he was more mad at the situation than I even was. I got over it. He was like, nah, fuck it. Let me relax. But he already feel how he feel that. Because when we vent, we don't say, but nah, things is good now. This happened. It's roses. We leave it alone because now I'm back with her.
And that's my thing. Like,
that's why we say there's three sides to a story.
There's at least
your side,
people,
her side, and the truth.
There's at least 4 people I can think about where I've heard something and I still hold on to that because I'm like, but that's me. I value sanctity in relationships and shit like that. Like I value relationships. That's why I probably hold on to things like that because I kind of I'm like MJ. I take it personally. I took it real personal. You know, like I don't like to hear shit like that. You know, because I'm putting myself in that position. Like, yo, if this is me, I'm gonna be bitter about that shit like that. So because I don't want, because it's like and because I also feel like through my friends, it's kind of like how I feel. It's like I'm not putting that energy out there for you to do shit like that to me, and that's why I take that more, emotionally invested to the heart. But
and don't get it twisted. Like any form of cheating is unforgivable, but the problem is, do you choose to want to work it out after you're done being upset? That's on you. You can't just because you feel a certain way and I feel opposite of how you feel.
I can't manage you for that. Right.
Yeah, like
I can't fault.
And then after the fact, I'm gonna be honest. At our age, if your friend decides to tell you what happens in their marriage, you cannot speak on their marriage. You do not. You just be like, and you have to be careful because whatever they say now, in the heat of the moment, guess what? They worked it out and it changed, and we can't feel a certain way. But here's one thing and one thing only. It is mad petty to go date your ex's friend while you're married.
And to get back to that story with the Currys, allegedly, Steph and his wife are taking his mom's side. Allegedly, again, that's what they're saying. They're taking her side because, again, if they know he's been cheating with that, I guess they chose a side. I don't know what that means by choosing a side. I don't know what that means. I don't know, but that's what
probably got upset.
Yeah. So
well, it's like if you're telling me how you explain it to me, and you say, oh, but his dad was cheating for 30 years, and then let's say he just finds out, yo, his first thought was like, yo, you cheated on my mother? Right. Oh Lord, he instant, in his brain switched to I need to take care of my mother.
right.
And now, even if she did something vile, he'd be like, she do whatever she wants.
That's my mom.
That's my mom.
Yeah.
Like that's how he took it.
And that's why I can probably see that Dell was the first violator of the relationship, and that's because for you to take mom's side regardless of what she's doing. For you to say, "No, I'm standing by my mom's on this," it kind of coexists with the story that it's been an open secret, and then they're more mad about it because he was the one to open up the can of worms. But like, well, she filed for divorce. Well, she been cheating and living with somebody, and that's also been things like she's lived with this guy for a year. and now you file for divorce. I don't know any state where that's gonna hold up in court. I know it definitely doesn't really hold up here in New York, but out there in California, wherever they live,
They are North Carolina.
I don't know how that. I don't know what the rules are there.
Yeah.
I do know only in terms of separation, before you can even get divorced, you must be separated for years. So which she is in this case. But you know, it's like I don't know what if you want to go into like the legal monetary dispute.
And in this climate, when you separated and with nobody really getting money, they're like, we separated living together.
Well, yeah. So
I said in this climate, they got money, they good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's you know, COVID and the pandemic and the quarantining. A lot of people got to know each other and you know felt like this is it.
More ways than more.
Yeah.
She went to the colonizer though.
Listen, man. But like if I'm not wishing divorce on you.
I know her DMs is popping.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was a rumor that it was a joke, it was an internet joke that Drake would probably holler at her.
I ain't mad at him if he did.
I didn't know that's a Drake joke, man. Like this is Drake. You talking about?
This is a joke.
This is Drake.
Drake. Yeah, it's a possibility. But again, let us know what y'all think. You know, everybody comment on your thoughts on this whole thing. That story is obviously going to develop because it really just started now and it's already getting ugly.
I'm sorry. I feel like that was petty though. Like
which part?
The divorce, like the divorce, and you automatically just being like, oh, well, she's out here with my leave that alone.
Oh,
bro.
him. Well, because apparently they're saying he was mad that she filed in the first place. I guess he thought they were going to just remain married.
Male ego.
Like, you can do what you want to do this whole time.
Right.
We were cool with that.
Right.
I was cool being out here.
He's like, it's been 30 years.
I was cool with you being out there.
You over there living away from me and all that, but you ain't got to file.
You want to leave the Curry family name?
Because apparently she put on documents. He's been cheating, She
going,
so he felt like, but you cheated too. Like, so
she ain't gonna be Miss Curry no more. She going back to her maiden name.
Maybe, because that name is valuable.
It is. They'll get her places.
Word up
into these restaurants.
It's gonna be interesting because now who sits with the family at the games now in the playoffs and stuff like awkward.
He may not be going in, but
opposite suites.
Awkward. But the conversation continues.
Get my dad coach.
We'll talk about that again later. But you also brought up another video that you saw on Instagram, which like goes back to what I was saying about you know, the comfort level of a man being with a woman and a woman, you know, being out in these streets and having to, you know, worry about, you know, being out there. The video.
I have to make this video because it is so important, especially when you're walking in a city like New York. Do not wear your headphones while you're walking somewhere. And if you're by yourself and you're listening to your headphones and you can't hear anything else going on around you, do not do that. I made the huge mistake of doing that yesterday. I was listening to a video my friend sent me on Instagram and my headphones were in on full volume and I couldn't hear or see. I wasn't paying attention to anything around me. And I was walking back from Starbucks, which is only 2 blocks from my apartment. It was a really quick walk. I do this walk all the time. And this guy apparently had been following me and I didn't notice. So basically this woman actually chased after the guy that was following me and I couldn't hear her and I couldn't see him. I had no idea what was going on behind me because I was so zoned in on my phone. And I walked into the lobby of my building and this lady was screaming after me, and the only reason I heard her is because she was excessively screaming my, like, lady, she was screaming. And I took my headphones out and I was so confused. And this guy that had been following me actually followed me into my building, was standing in the lobby behind me, and he was holding something in his pocket. And the second I turned around and saw him, he fled and he ran out of my lobby. Luckily, my building has video cameras and now the police is investigating the situation. I reported him. As far as general safety and my mental health, and being traumatized because now I don't even want to walk outside in New York without having a friend near me or someone next to me. This was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me, and I just really give you, if I could give you any advice, it would be to not walk with your headphones in when you're not paying attention in New York City. That's the best advice I could give anyone, and this lady literally, she's a guardian angel and saved my life.
He knows her building.
Yeah, that's
Like,
even
he may
crazy.
not know her apartment, but
He definitely knows her building. And you know, it was crazy because I sent in the group chat and I sent it to just and like, you know, most women, because that I know, to just be careful, because my girl tells me all the time, you need to stop walking around with both your headsets on, because you like to like listen to podcasts and listen to your music, but you always doing it with both headsets. Take one off, because you never know. And I'm always the one looking around my surroundings, even with my headset. But you can't, when you have noise canceling earbuds, you can't hear nothing coming, even though you watching your surroundings, you don't know what's coming behind you, and you can't do that with both headsets on. You should have one. But it was crazy. It got to that point where my man, like, you got further than her. You knew where she was living.
which means he's probably been doing this for a while.
Maybe, and if not, I mean, he know now where to meet at. Like you know.
My thing is, I tell my daughter now, I'm like, I try to prepare her for, she's getting older, and I even tell her, like, listen, you walk around with me and you always have your face on the into the phone, like, look up, pay attention. Like, even when I remember telling him, like, I was gonna have him just walk by us and grab her phone and keep it pushing. What she's gonna do? Because the reality is, she's a kid. She's 11. What are you doing? Like, somebody's gonna grab your phone, you're gonna come back home crying. I'm gonna be like, don't be here crying. I told you plenty of times. Stop having your phone in your hand or looking at your phone. Like, when you're in the streets, you need to be alert, especially after, like, right after when COVID got into these streets, and then we had just opened back up. Not fully, but just enough to go back to work. And I told her, look, there's a lot of people, sketchy people in these streets. I need you to know that you're going to be alert. Because I'm not, you're basing off everything of just me being with you, and you think everything is okay. If you don't see what I see, that means before an incident happens, you're not going to react as fast as I can. And I need you to pay attention. If something happens, I need you to be alert and be somewhere safe. Because God forbid. And then a man can just grab you. They be grabbing kids out here.
I say, fuck the phone.
Yeah, like, they be grabbing kids out here. Like, I need you to be alert. Like, watch your back. Don't, be careful. And, yo, like, same thing with my goddaughter, too. Like, she's 13. She's 12. But she look like she's 15. And it's just creepy enough. Like, listen, they got to be more alert. Luckily for her, she's going to high school. High school, actually. But before, she was always walking with her group of friends. She had, like, 1, 2, or 3. She was always in, like, some type of group when she was taking the bus. Thank God right now she just takes bus. Train's a little bit more different. But, yeah, you just got to be more alert. And, yo, it's real out here, man.
We were talking about that last week, and I was saying I was 11 when I first had to really travel from school home by myself. And I felt so accomplished when I did it. I was like, yeah, I'm traveling by myself. And then I found out years later, my mom followed me home the first day. Yeah. And then ever since then, I kind of kept my head on a swivel, and I always learned alternate ways to travel because, I felt like I just because of paranoia, my mom would be behind me, somebody could be behind me. I started to find different ways to get home from where I'm at, and and I tell my niece, like, yo, always know where you're at. Even if it's with your mom, just know where you're at. She driving, whatever, just look at landmarks and stuff when she turn a corner, and whoever you with, know where you're at. I know a lot of people to this day now, because we rely so much on GPS and stuff, that people just sit in the car, young and adults, and have no idea where they're at. But we just ride into this. Yeah, but where are you? Like, I don't know. You should always be aware of where you're at, no matter who you, even if it's somebody you trust. Just know, just in case something do pop off and you got to leave, or if I got to come, or somebody got to. Just be aware, and it's like the littlest things that we take for granted now. And like you said, I have noise over the ear noise canceling headphones, and just again call it paranoia, whatever. I keep my back to the wall. I keep my head on a swivel. When I'm around more people, I turn the noise reduction down. Sometimes I'll just have them on and mute the music or something. Just when I see people, some funny movement going on. So it's just I feel we was raised a little different. Back in the days, what I'm saying, kids now don't really get out as much, and then of course now the pandemic and stuff, some kids has been home school, they just, so they ain't really, a lot of kids haven't even got that chance yet. That was transitioned from elementary to junior high, whatever, they haven't really traveled and stuff yet, and this is kind of delaying that, even their personal skills being outside now. They've been apart from people for almost 2 years now, and you just gotta, certain street smarts that, we don't teach really, and when your parent drives you to school every day or whatever, it's just certain things you don't get when you know, your little baby. So it's especially for women. Especially for women, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad that it has to be that way, but
yo, it's crazy.
Especially for women, they
like
gotta
that.
be more alert of you know, surroundings.
My girl's like that. She'll be like, yo, I have one headset on all the time.
Right.
Even when like she'll watch a movie, she don't put both on.
Mm-hmm.
She has one on, and like you said, that we try our best. I'm not gonna say all parents, because I know for a fact, like even now, if you really look at it, even when there's a group of kids on the train, I either turn my music off. And I'll be alert who's the loudest, who's the quietest.
Yeah,
who's the one. Like you start breaking everything down. Yo, I can still go into a train station right now and analyze everybody in the train, whether it's packed or not. I'll look around, still doing my thing, and put my head down. Why? Because my brain has already scanned the whole area. And because it's been like that since I was in my 20s. Like, yo, you get that. You have to. That is a keen thing you got to perfect every day, and that. It can turn into paranoia or it cannot. But I try to teach that to Gabby now. I want to continue that on, because at the end of the day, like, you just never know, especially at night. Especially going to a club, especially getting drinks, especially going
and
to
even those rules, like you said, at the club, who bought you the drink? Somebody just come up with some glasses. Or, it's just those street smart things that even if you're not in the street, but in the club and surrounded out and about,
turn your back.
Yeah, right. You already had the drink, but then you and then you look back.
I told my cousins that. I told my cousins that. I told them, let me tell you something right now. You have these two things you're gonna do, and this is when Uber just started doing it. Before Uber wasn't there yet. So what happened was, I would tell both of them, let me tell you something. When you having fun and you're going out and you're drinking, don't drink too much. Don't try to outdrink nobody, because you can't really do it. And two is, you want to go to the bathroom or you leave to go dance, you finish that drink, finish it right there and then. Either you put something on top of it or go away, finish it right there.
Finish it. Yeah.
And then I always said, listen, if one of your friends, if the driver of your group is drinking, you don't go with them. Mind you, I explained to them, like, look, I used to do a lot of crazy stuff back then, and it was questionable, and it was, I can't say it was risk free. I always took a lot of risks that I don't say I regret, but it was definitely a lesson. I always said, look, now you take a cab home, because remember, Uber wasn't popping right then. So I said, take a cab home. Now you can take an Uber. I'm like, listen.
And even with Uber, there's
you gotta be careful too. Yeah.
And that's
getting snatched up in Ubers and stuff now.
Too. It goes back to the point of saying, know your surroundings. Because if you know your way home, and this Uber driver you're intoxicated, you're seeing outside, you may be seeing things foggy, but if you know that building, or you know that high rise or whatever isn't familiar, you start seeing a bridge out of nowhere.
You're not going the right way.
You know you're going somewhere different. And this is when you start getting to panic mode and so forth. You make something up at that point. The world is very distracted, and that's been with the evolution of smartphones and technology in general. Everybody has almost everybody has a smartwatch. Everybody has a cell phone, even as young as 5 years old. Kids got got smartphones or iPads. There's something always electronic in their faces, becoming like what was the movie? WALL-E.
WALL-E.
Oh, yeah.
It's become like that, where everybody has something in their face and nobody's really seeing things. Like you can walk in the street, somebody's gonna bump you because they were looking at whatever on their phone, whether it be actual TV or a YouTube video or whatever.
Video chat.
Like
texting,
chatting, texting, like there's always like a device in somebody's hand.
And you like somebody can't just snatch it and run. And you're not fast enough.
So snatch you up. It doesn't matter if you're a young boy, young girl, or even an adult woman. Like and I'm not saying, I don't know of any stories of people who are abducting grown men, but you're a grown woman, you're definitely volatile, especially if you have a small frame. People are gonna see that, take advantage of that shit in a heartbeat. Like it's and for that young lady, I don't, for her to walk blocks, and be that blind to what's going on is staggering.
It's crazy.
Like it's insane. Like, and I didn't even know about that story, but like it's insane. Like it's
Now think about that and what would have happened, because I'm telling you, there was another woman behind it. There was a bystander who took the time to say, hey lady, now finish that story without that bystander saying
right. And at that
crazy.
point, it's like
it's a Law and Order episode after that.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's a sad thing.
And it's funny because he didn't make that as a joke. No. That was a fact. That was a fact.
It's a real thing. And a lot of Law and Order SVU things
it's from
are built from real
life situations in New York.
So, you know, that Criminal Minds, all these shows, they have inspiration tied from real life. Like, it's a sad thing. Like, people have to be less distracted. And we say that, and then every year or every few months, there's a new product that makes you more distracted. Like, we went from, you know, from having like the over-the-air stuff, you know, that barely can cancel anything out, to having, you know, like a noise cancellation. And, you know, me and you, we both have the Bose joints, you know. At 10, you really don't hear shit.
It drowns it all out.
You know?
And it's great if I'm on a plane, on a train, whatever, I don't hear that noisy baby, but in the streets.
But in the streets, you're going to need to hear something. Like, I used to get to the point, and like before this accident last year, like, I used to be that person on the subway platform who would be, you know, stand by the yellow line, always looking out for a train.
Right.
And mind you, and this has been going on even before then, it's still happening now. People push people onto the side, onto the tracks. Yeah. You know, and that's you not really being paying attention to what's going on. Nobody has eyes behind the back of their head. We all have that sixth sense, like that feeling like something's about to happen. But by the time that happens, it's too late.
Your body can't react fast enough.
Especially if it's like on a crowded platform. That's why I hate crowded platforms. Because then you have no other choice but to be near something that may cause you harm, and you don't know how everybody reacted. Like, you may look at the guy who wearing like a freaking house coat outside, like, oh, he crazy. Meanwhile, the business guy, he might have just lost his job.
He want to commit
or his wife might be cheating on him or whatever, and then he might just push you onto the tracks because he's mad. So you're looking at one person and not expecting another thing. Like, you gotta watch for the hook, and it's hard to keep yourself on a swivel. But you can't solve everything, but keeping yourself attentive enough to what's going on helps. It may not remedy the whole thing, but it helps. Having everything that's in your ear and your eyes, that's not going to help either. No. Especially if you're not surveying the field, like how you doing, you know, and especially as you teach youth, because youth sees examples from all of us.
And this has been a PSA from a 2021 Vision.
Word.
We didn't mean to end the episode on such a somber note. But it's reality. It just needs to be said. It needs to be, you know, thought about.
Pay attention to detail, people.
Yes.
Be safe out there.
In all aspects of it. Listen to what people say. Watch people do. All of it. But the conversation continues. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all once again for joining.
You already.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to have, you know, much more to talk about. A lot more going on. You know what I'm saying? This week alone, if you haven't watched already, I got some other videos up. And some more coming by the time this airs. So it's going to be a busy week of shows, you know, on the channel. And I'm trying to keep that going, you know, as long as possible. We're going to keep it going. But, you know, everybody that's listening on all the audio platforms, check the YouTube page, youtube.com/2021vision. You'll see where to catch these guys at. It's _Ghost84. Spread love, but it's spelled differently. Just look at the description. I ain't going to all that. Look at the description. It's there.
Right next to his OnlyFans.
You know what I mean? 2020. Also, Lyndon Woodworking. That's his code name when he dances in the streets.
Whoa!
Working that wood.
Got him.
Yes, but no.
We out here, you know what I'm saying? Everybody doing big things, you know what I'm saying? The conversation continues. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Do it again. Do it some more. We'll holler at you, you know, next episode. All right? Later.